Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meow Mix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven,
My name is Jerry.
and just when we thought we were out, they pull us back in. Carolina Panthers with a massive 9-7 victory.
Let's go! Let's go!
Hey, anytime we can beat
Hey,
Atlanta, it's a good day.
100%. And Bryce Young led a nice drive down the field to get to that,
He
field
did.
goal, which it looked like they could have gotten into the end zone. We're not sure. They took
They could have, but they did the right thing.
yeah. Special
Yeah.
teams coordinator is going to rely on his special teams, especially that close. But hey,
It was the way to go. I mean, that we can talk about it if you want, but there was no reason to score a touchdown there.
I concur, but I could
Yeah.
see, especially with the struggles of the offense doing it. But
Get the
let's
win.
go. We got to
Get the
win.
win.
Two.
Yeah.
Two wins.
9-7 or 9-7. Now we're 2-12. Moving up, double our win total in 1 week. It's nice. But more importantly, maybe we set the Falcons back.
Exactly.
Got ourselves a little closer to being out of the number one pick that we will give to Chicago. So at this point, it's just all about screwing as many teams over as possible. At this point, like what else can we?
100% correct.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're doing now. So, but yes, I agree. I think that last drive by Bryce gave me hope. Gave me some
I feel
hope.
like this game, as ugly as it looked. Let's be honest. This game was
Oh yeah,
ugly.
ugly game,
The
but played
ball-
played perfectly by the Panthers
yes.
in terms of run the ball 36 times, only pass it 24 times. Like seriously, in a dirty, nasty.
And it wasn't stupid throws either. It wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of like, oh, let's go stupid 3rd and 1 deep downfield. Even though
Yeah.
it did bite them a couple times with the 4th downs, but
Right. Like saying that they played it perfectly is obviously not correct. But for this team, it was as good a game plan as we've seen all season long.
I want to give a shout out to Thomas Brown. I know there's a lot of knock that they only score 9 points game. They play. I do feel like he's throwing out different thought processes, and he's getting Bryce under the center more. He's giving Amir Smith some like end around run plays.
Yeah.
It feels like, again, I'm not going to give him too much credit because he did create the playbook at the beginning of the year, but it does seem like he's trying to mix things up a little bit where Frank Reich was the same plays over and over again.
Yeah, I mean the results haven't been there offensively in terms of points,
Yes.
but there is an obvious difference in the way that the Panthers' offense has looked the last couple of weeks versus the previous few weeks. Again, they're not scoring points. Nothing is really changing in terms of their ability to win games with the offense. But I do like seeing Bryce under center more. They did a few rollouts in this game that I thought were good ideas, whether they worked out or not. Bryce, I think, could still stand to run the ball more. I mean, he had a nice run today, but that was really the only one he did other than some kneel downs. So I would like to see that element a little more from him. I think it adds another dynamic to an offense that really needs dynamic plays, right?
Yes.
But yes, I agree with you. I think that Thomas Brown has made an effort to make the offense look different, and even though it's not been, in terms of scoring, it's just not been very good. It is nice to see them trying different things.
And
That's
it
what we've been
feels-
begging for.
And it feels like what they're also trying to do is put Bryce in a position to succeed. He was
Right.
18 at 24. He wasn't just lobbing it constantly where previous, with Frank Reich and earlier this season it was doing. It
Yeah.
felt like, hey, there was a concerted effort of let's get him outside the pocket. Let's, when things break down, make sure you come back to the ball. Now, the receivers sometimes didn't do that. Our running back had the best.
Yeah. And unfortunately on that one play, I think he probably had Thielen for a touchdown if he wanted it. But yeah, I mean, Bryce did miss some
Yeah.
open guys throughout the game. In terms of just not throwing them the ball or not noticing that they were open. But I thought the last drive was very, very good by him. It shows that he has it in him, right? He has not been completely ruined by this season. And that, I think, is a very, very positive thing to see, right?
I mean, our 2 wins are 2 fourth-quarter drives by Bryce Young to get in scoring position.
Because whether you like Bryce Young or not,
he's here.
He's the guy for at least next season.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be for the best for all of us if he was good. So let's hope that he's good. I mean, I've had my doubts. You've had your doubts. Certainly, we've seen many Panthers fans have their doubts. But games like today where, again, we scored 9 points, didn't get any touchdowns, but he led that fourth quarter drive. That was all him.
That was all him.
That was all him.
They also looked like they maneuvered the ball. They went for it on fourth down twice in scoring position too and failed. So they left points on the board.
Could have easily been a 15-7.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. But I'm just saying that there was potential there. They were doing good, and I just spit on my monitor. So there we go.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's there was one of the times that they went for it on fourth down. I was like, why? Just take points, man.
I think it was the first one they went for. I was like, take the points, go for it. Yeah. Or unless you really don't think Panero can take that long in what was an awful weather game.
And let's be very clear here. The defense won this game for the Panthers.
I was literally just about to kick it over to give a round of applause for that defense.
Like Bryce had a nice drive, but this game was won by the defense. They played great all game.
What was my number one key to the game, even though we were kind of lax? Stop the run. 31 rushes, 52 yards. 1.7 yards per carry.
Against a very good running team.
Dude,
very
I
dynamic
think most of that
team.
Was in the first drive. Seriously. After that,
yeah, you text of that first drive. Panthers can't stop the run. Going to be a long day.
Yeah,
and then like the next play, I think they stopped Bijan like 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and after that there was no problem.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Great games by I know we're not giving out zeros yet or anything else. I just want to say great game by Etor. Mm-hmm. Brian Burns had a really good game. Derek Brown, Thurman. What's his first name? I don't even know him that well, but Nick
Mr. Thurman.
Mr. Thurman. I like that. I mean, he had a good game out there. I mean, Frankie Luvu showed up.
Luvu had a great game.
I mean, anybody on defense, you really gave up one play, and then they scored off that one play. Other than that, I mean, it was a 56-yard play.
Yeah.
I
mean, Xavier Woods had the big interception.
204. You take that away, they had 154 yards altogether.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Bad math.
Yeah.
148, but
great game. Great game from the defense. Good, perfect game plan by Evero, and well executed. And even though it's not going to show up on the stat sheet with sacks for Brian Burns, I texted you early in the game that he looked good. He was all over the place. He came to play today, and that's what we want to see from him. I'd like to see him get more sacks, but if he's disruptive like this every game, then that only helps the
he had a couple good plays on run defense that, due to his speed, he got to the end around or to the backside and gave him 1 yard rush instead of what could have been 3-4. It was very impressive what he did today.
Yeah. Derek Brown, another good game. Xavier Woods had the interception. J.C. Horn, I thought, had a good game.
Troy Hill punched the ball out.
Yeah. Dante Jackson got hurt at some point. I don't know if he came back in. But he was having a good game. Mm-hmm. Honestly, no complaints about this defense.
You had a good game.
No complaints about the defense whatsoever. Jeremy Chin only credited with 1 tackle. So it would have been nice to get him more involved. But you give up 7 points. And like you said, it was mainly one play.
Yeah,
One bad play all game, basically, for
and
the
it was
defense.
hats off to the Arthur Smith. It was a creative play.
Great design, perfect throw by Ritter. Really, really well executed play.
I mean,
But
it's
again, that
tough
was
when
it.
you see blown tackles or blown coverages, but when you see a great design and great execution,
Yeah.
it's easy to say that now that we won, but it
No,
was great.
I think we would have said it anyway, and made me jealous when I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like wow, that what a nice play design, and how great would that be if we had something like that here? But Thomas Brown had a couple of nice design plays today, but
I just
again,
want to call out ESPN or somebody is the biggest BS right now. The attendance record on ESPN Bet says 95%. If that stadium was at 95% capacity, I am six
no,
foot
well,
three.
it's certainly 95% of people that did not come to this game. They may have bought tickets, but they did not come. I think I saw someone said the turnstiles like it was less than 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell. I tweeted out a picture of halftime, and it was just a ghost town. Like you could count the people in the stands.
I was
And I don't
offered.
think, I don't, yeah, oh yeah. I was offered free tickets
Me
from
too.
multiple people.
And I was
Multiple
like, I
people.
don't want to freeze my butt off and watch this team. It was spend money on concessions. Because even
Yeah.
if I don't buy the tickets, I'm still spending what? $30, $40 on parking. Uh, 'cause it-
$30, $40 on concessions at
concessions.
least.
I mean, even if I don't drink, you're
Yeah.
gonna eat something or have at least a water or soda there. So
Sure, yeah. And water's what, $8 or something.
yeah,
Like it's so cost prohibitive to go to these games. Like as much as I would love to go to all of them, it just doesn't make sense for people who want to take care of their money. I'll just say that.
yeah. If you don't have that expendable income, especially watching this
Yeah.
team, but let's go. We won. We won.
We won. We won. Great victory. The Panthers are now averaging 12 points on offense in their wins this season.
Yeah.
That should tell you all you need to know about how good the defense has been.
Uh,
Honestly, Evero doing himself a lot of favors
yeah.
by playing the defense playing as well as they played in a lost season. Like really impressive. Honestly, really impressive.
They've given up a good bit of points, but I think it'll get a pass by a lot of people with how abysmal the offense has played. But,
Yeah.
going back to this game, getting Chuba, stop giving Sanders the ball. Give it to Blackshear. Every time he touches
Or Smith
the ball.
Marset.
Like I said, when I saw that a couple times, I know that they're like, "Hello, he went inside. That's stupid." I was like, at least they're trying something different. Like Schlereth was all, well, he's a speed guy, and then they did like a fake end around and he cut back, caught it in space, and it was just like, that's what you can do when you're creative a little bit.
8 touches for 13 yards for Miles Sanders. 6 carries for 2 yards. He's just not the guy.
He's not.
I guess he's a guy that just needs an A+ offensive line to be effective because he is
100%.
not effective here. Whereas Chuba, 22 carries, 87 yards, very good, very effective.
I felt like anytime he got a slight blocking scheme that worked or a crease, he hit it hard and got downfield.
Yeah.
There was probably a lot of 1-yard runs in those 22, but I felt like every time he had an opening, he took it and gunned it. And I'm very proud of him the way he looks now. That, where we're sitting here with Miles Sanders saying, don't let him get a carry, give it more to Chuba and Blackshear.
Yeah. Yeah, Chuba has really, really come into his own this season. And again, like I don't know that Chuba is a number 1 on a Super Bowl contended team. But I think he has earned a spot in the NFL. And I don't think that was guaranteed before this
After
season.
his first contract, I agree. I think this season he really showed that he could be a guy. Like when I say a guy, he could be the number 1 guy. The offense has not looked good So you could say, oh, he's easily the number one guy. But at the same time, the passing game hasn't been there, the blocking
Yeah.
hasn't been there. So, but
I think he's gonna have like a Deontay Foreman type career, where he's gonna go around to teams and he'll spot start, or a starter gets hurt and he'll come in and he'll have 800 yards rushing 1 year. But he's earned he's shown that he can play in the NFL. He's earned himself a career, I think, and I'm happy for him because I was ready to cut him in training camp.
I know you were really down on him, but
Yeah, I was completely out on him.
I think he's earned his mostly because there's not much, assets that they can go get. With Sanders already having that big contract, I think he walks into next year the penciled-in starter without much question.
Is he? I thought he was. Is he? I guess he does have 1 year left, right?
Yeah, I think he's still here.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Depending on what they do, with the draft, free agency, all that. But yeah, good job by him. Just again, Smith Marset. Every time that guy touches the ball, he seems to go for 10 yards. So I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah,
I
I felt like they even went
Chenault-ish.
deep on him with him a couple times where I really liked it because he has that speed, he has that elusiveness that they're finally using the speed guy for a speed, even though DJ Shark.
Well, he was targeted twice and he had 2 catches for 1 yard. So I don't know that they went deep on him, but they should.
I thought they
should.
did, or maybe he ran a deep route and it was covered, but
Still just completely mismanaging DJ Chark. I mean, Shark is a good receiver. Like, he's been productive in other places, and he's been healthy this season for the most part. And this is a guy that can't get one or two catches a game.
yeah,
And I
gotta
don't
feed
understand
Jonathan
it.
Mingo that ball, man. Gotta feed it to. That
Look,
being said, he had a decent game, and just it does feel like they
Hey,
feed it to him too
I'm
much.
happy to feed it to Mingo if he's a guy that's going to step up and show something. But Chark two targets in this game, and again, it's one of those games where the ball wasn't thrown a lot, but still,
And rightfully so.
yeah. I'd still like to see him involved more. He made an incredible catch on the sideline,
Oh,
kind of a
yeah.
pirouette, got both his feet down. Like the dude knows how to play football. He just, I just would love to see them feature him more, but it's fine. The season's almost over, so. All right. What else you want to talk about? You want to go through some
Yeah, let's do some stats.
statistics here? All right. So Bryce ended up 18 for 24, 167 yards, 93.6 QB rating, according to ESPN. So that's one of his higher ones of the season, certainly of late. Good game by him. No mistakes.
No,
No
and that was
no
a big
major
thing.
mistakes.
I felt like his passes and everything that they designed for him,
Yeah.
the rollouts, they made it safe. I hate saying safe, and but they weren't relying on him to win the game. And I think previously they just some reason didn't want to do that.
Well, just I don't know the answer to that statement, but he did fumble the ball once, but he got back on it. So other than that, I don't think he even had any turnover-worthy plays. I didn't see anything that looked, like it even could have been an intercepted. So
No,
good job by him today. A good game manager job, Cam. All right, 22 carries, 87 yards for Chuba. Average of 4.0 average yards per carry. Had a long of 22. Smith Marset, as we mentioned, 4 for 31. Bryce 4 for 9, but I think 2 or 3 of those were kneel downs. And then Sanders 6 carries for 2 yards. Great game.
mm-hmm.
Adam Thielen 4 receptions, 43 yards. Tommy Tremble 2 for 32. Mingo 4 for 32. DJ 1 for 18. Chuba 2 for 16. Then Sullivan, Sanders, and Marset had a few catches between the three of them. Let's see. Frankie Louvu led the team in tackles as usual with 10. Frankie Louvu is just a really good player, and I hope that they re-sign him.
Yeah, I mean, besides being
give him
a
a big
really
contract.
good player, he feels like the motivational guy, like
Yeah.
the guy that rallies everyone else around. Like Thomas Davis was that.
Right. He's 27 years old. He's still young. Give him a big deal. Let him keep him here. He's earned it. He's a good player. Probably a Pro Bowler this year. If I had to guess, he'd be maybe the only Pro Bowl worthy guy on this team.
Pro Bowl worthy. I don't think he gets it because he plays for the 2-12 Panthers, but
yeah, they might reward him. We'll see. JC second in the team with tackles. He and YGM with 6 apiece.
YGM, man, seriously, good year.
Good to have him back.
If you didn't have that injury,
yeah, yep. Xavier Woods got the interception. No sacks for the Panthers in this game, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. Obviously, they were not focused on blitzing and things like that. They were, focused on stopping the run.
Stop the run, make Desmond Ridder make spectacular plays to beat you. That's why J.C. Horn had so many tackles, because he was in a soft, or not a soft zone, but a zone that if he gets the ball, you just get him down right away. You knock the ball out of their hands. That's the goal.
Yeah, just a good game plan on the defense, as we said again. Yep. Eddie P, 3 for 3, knocked down all 3 of his field goals, all of them within 35 yards, and got the game winner. So Eddie MVP strikes again. For the Falcons, Desmond Ridder, 12 for 20, 152 yards, touchdown and interception. That's just what he is, I think.
And that's with a 56-yarder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he was not good. Like, in my opinion, he just wasn't that good.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. So, Algier, 14 carries, 45 yards. Bijan, 7 for 11. Interesting that Algier had twice as many carries as Bijan. Their running back rotation is kind of strange. I mean, Cordero Patterson had 5 for -2 yards. Every time he touched the ball, it was just a disaster.
They knew it.
Yeah. And then Ridder, 5 for -2. So, again, 31 carries or 52 yards, as you mentioned earlier. Just fantastic. Fantastic.
If I was going to say one stat that I want to see in this game, was that right there.
Yeah. Yep. Jonnu, 2 for 61 yards. Again, he had the 56-yarder. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 37. That included a 24-yarder. So that's, 80 yards just between those 2 catches? That's more than half of their entire passing offense. Just 2 catches. So Drake London, 2 for 24, completely shut down. Kadero Hodge, 1 for 10, and then a handful of catches for the rest of the guys. Bijan did lose a fumble. Oh, man, Bijan, did he end up with negative fantasy points? 1 catch for 3 yards.
He got that catch, so I think he ended with 0.
He might end up with 0 or 0.1 or something. Oh, wow. All right. Jesse Bates, 10 tackles to lead the team. They had
that was a great pickup this offseason for him. He's really good.
When we saw him go there, we were like, dang it, we could have gotten him. Like, why not us? Calais Campbell had a sack, Zach Harrison had a sack, and Taquan Graham had a sack. So 3 sacks for them. Again, Younghoe Koo, no field goal attempts, only 1 extra point. And that's it for the individual stats. I just want to take a look at the third down stats real quick. Panthers were 5 for 15. Falcons 6 for 13. So pretty even there. Falcons actually a little better. Panthers had the ball for 34 minutes to 26 minutes for the Falcons. And no penalties really. 4 for 35 for the Panthers, 4 for 25 for the Falcons. A low penalized game. Just kudos to the Panthers for having the right game plan, come in and get a victory. Kudos to the fans who showed up.
Yeah, you're better than I at that point, because there was no way I was going to be going in that cold, rainy weather.
I personally think you're all psychopaths. But
I was talking to my wife Sylvia, and I was like, last year I wanted to go to that Detroit game, even though it was the coldest game on the record and everything else. It was a blast to go. I looked at this game and I was like, there's no way you can catch me there.
No. I think it wasn't raining at the Detroit game, right? It was just really cold.
No, it was just really cold.
Yeah. This cold is one thing. Cold and rain is something very different. And we've been to several cold and rain games, and they are not fun.
They're not fun.
They are not fun. And I think everyone we've gone to, they've won too. So that's the Panthers' special sauce is cold and rain. All right. Any other thoughts here?
We're won! Guys, we actually won!
We did it. We got the victory.
We didn't do it, but they did. The Panthers did it.
The Bucks and the Saints also won, so they have both moved up to 7-7. The Falcons at 6-8. Panthers right there at 2-12. So
right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Yeah. Best.
So,
all right. So
with us being realistically out of it, I am hoping Atlanta wins now. Wins it all, or wins the division.
Why is that?
Because I hate Tampa Bay and New Orleans a little bit more, and I like Arthur Smith. I think he's a good guy who's been strapped with Desmond Ridder and as his quarterback.
Arthur Smith, I mean, there was a report that came out today that his job was safe, barring a late season collapse. This could be the start of the late season collapse.
Yeah, could be.
I'm rooting for chaos, so I want him to get fired. I want Dennis Smith to get fired.
Todd Bowles will get fired unless
Todd
he wins
Bowles should. Well, one of the coaches is going to win the division and probably not get fired. But
see,
I think you could easily have 3 openings in the NFC South.
And I also think Desmond Ridder is the anchor holding that team down. I think with a better quarterback, they would be much.
Well, they have good. I mean, they have good skill possession. Yeah, they have.
Yeah, and they have a solid defense now. So.
Yeah, I held us to 9 points.
I mean, God, a wet sneeze can hold this offense
held this dynamic offense to 9 points. All right, it's good to do this podcast. We were very much prepared to never do another recap, to not do another recap podcast the rest of the season, but all it took was for us to threaten that, and the Panthers were like, all right, guys, we'll get you a victory.
Jerry can't get drunk yet.
All right. I think that's going to do it.
Heroes and zeros, sir. We actually
heroes and zeros. All right. Yeah, good. All right, I'll go first. My hero. Do I want to give it to... I'm going to give it to Bryce. I'm going to give it to Bryce, mainly for that fourth quarter final drive. We don't win the game if he's not
accurate
able to do that. So I'm giving it to Bryce.
So I'm cheating. I feel like Oprah right now. I'm giving it to the defense. The whole defense as a whole, because I felt like...
You get a hero, and you get a hero.
Everybody gets a hero. And Chuba. Chuba gets an honorary mention, because that third down where he made that first down, that ended the game, basically.
True.
I mean, you didn't give that offense any... But the defense, you were outstanding all game, so...
Yeah, I agree with that. You could give it to Evero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zeros, I'm going to go Miles Sanders, and I think you probably will too. It's just he's terrible and doesn't deserve to see the field.
100%. Don't give it to Sanders. Get another running back in here to do it, because anytime he gets the ball, he doesn't do anything with it, and I feel like it's a wasted down.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Am I missing anything else?
No, that was it.
The under hit.
Which I thought was the best bet of anything.
Yeah.
So Panthers,
the Panthers covered
the spread, obviously.
The under hit. Right. So if you bet the over and you bet a Falcons victory, you are sad. You're sad today. All right. That's going to do it.
All right, we want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMixPodcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
We'll be back middle of the week to preview the next game, which I believe is the Green Bay Packers.
It is.
And until then, everybody stay safe out there. Stay warm. and keep pounding.